guys, time for a little story time. Just to tell a quick story of how I was almost robbed here this day last week, right at this Katrina mural. Ironically, just across from a church right across the street there. There's actually a sermon or a mass happening right now, would you believe? And so yeah, I was standing here this day last week. No, it was the day before, it was Saturday. 5 p.m. I was taking pictures for a Canadian dude who wanted pictures. That's what I do now, I take pictures, I'm a photographer. So, I was standing like right here. Voila. Just let people pass here. Perdona. He's got his Nikon camera as well, actually, this man. So, Canadian dude standing right here, and I'm just 2 meters back on the road, when suddenly I feel a touch on my back, and it's a Mexican lad with no shirt on, touch me in the back, prodding me as if he's got some kind of weapon, and he starts going, la cámara, saca la cámara. He's like, give me the camera. So I've just come away like this, pick up my bag, and I just start getting away from him, like, whoa. I'm just like that, whoa, just trying to understand what's going on. And the Canadian dude actually scarpered. He ran, like he bolted. I didn't actually quite run, I was just getting away from the situation. He's like, the camera. Then there's two of them, right? There's the guy who's saying la camera. There's another dude a couple of feet away. He doesn't say a word. And then he's like, he's got a bag. And he's pretending he's got a gun or a knife inside the bag. So he's like, hand in the bag as if he's going to take something out. So I've gone down this street down here. Right down here. I got a good bit away from, because at this point, you don't know. Now, on hindsight, it was clear from the beginning he didn't have anything, because he obviously would have produced it or showed it right from the start. Of course, by the way, the camera's right here. Nothing. At no point was I ever going to give it to him, because I didn't feel like he had anything to threaten me with. There was no physical altercation either. There was no attempted aggression or attempted attack. It was simply the touch in the back at first to make it seem like he had something, like a knife maybe was what the implication would be by a prod in the back. So once we're about 10 meters away from him down that street, at that point they just give up, and then they make tracks. At that point I'm like, they definitely have nothing. And we're thinking, is there something we should do now about this? Should we go back and find them? I said straight away to the Canadian dude, like, we need to just go back there anyway. We need to finish our pictures. And he was like, no, why do you want to go back there? Why would you want to go back? You want to just prove a point? And I was like, well, yeah, a little bit. But mostly, that's where we were taking pictures. And we're not going to be afraid to take pictures in the spot where we were over some little punks, you know? So that was the story. First sketchy incident here in Playa del Carmen. Nothing bad came of it. Obviously, it wasn't scratched or touched or anything, and kept the camera. But it was an experience to be aware of for the future, you know. Well, here's the thing. I was very disappointed in, and I've let him be known to this guy, his reaction to the situation. Because people say, oh, you always got to be on your toes, you got to be looking around. But when I'm with someone taking pictures for him, he saw that guy come from at least 10 meters away across the street to get to that mural. And he didn't say anything. I asked him why. Why didn't you say anything? He's like, oh, I didn't think they were going to do anything. I was like, you should have had a better radar when he was getting close to me. So I'm not cool with that dude who was involved in that situation. You might see this video, and that's the truth. I'll tell him to his face as well. I'm not going to say who it is, obviously. And then after, he was like, oh, I was going to knock them out. No, he wasn't going to do anything. People say all the things they're going to do in such a situation. Another guy told me he would have just elbowed him straight away when he got the touch in the back. No, you wouldn't either, because that could just be a friend playing a trick on you. We all get touched on the back sometimes in a given day, you know. So I feel like my reaction overall was a good one. We got away from the situation and we stayed safe, and we managed to show them we weren't scared, but we did get away from the situation just to be sure. And that was the way it went down. So do be careful out here. This was in broad daylight, an attempted robbery of my camera. Be careful. Do keep an eye out, even in broad daylight. There does seem to be a certain presence on the streets these days.